Season 2 of the Universal Open. In case you didn't just hear that, welcome back. I welcomed you back to Season 2 of the Universal Open, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. Now, we've just had another game. We've seen one of our favourites move on in convincing fashion in Word. They moved on in a 3-0 fashion, exactly what we were expecting from those guys. But now we have our final upper bracket game and our final game of the day, gentlemen. It's going to be Ghost taking on First in Flight. Now, two teams we haven't seen so far. What can you tell us about these two?
So, Coleman A has been around the scene since time immemorial, it feels like.
Since the beginning, basically.
I don't know much about his teammate Zadop, but Coleman was back around Season 1, preseason, maybe Season 2 of RLCS even.
Yeah.
He was a sub for an RLCS
yeah,
team for a little bit.
He had one appearance that entire time. Literally only used so Gibbs can make really bad stats for us to try and figure out. He always includes subs in the stats.
Yeah, I remember that.
Throws us off all the time.
Yeah, the trivia, I do remember that. So shame on you, Gibbs, if you're watching. But
we don't need context to say that.
It's the real Shogun coming back towards the end of the show.
But
the veneers started to peel, sorry.
but Coleman's a pretty great player. I don't know how well he'll stack up to Lethamyr and Memory, obviously, over on Ghost Station. Don't know much about Zadop, but Lethamyr and Memory, not too much introduction they really need. Again, some of the best people in the world right here.
Okay, some very talented performers about to be on show here. Obviously, 2v2, slightly different to 3v3, as we've seen already. Can be a little bit of an adjustment, even for some of the best players in the world. Are you expecting this series to be much like we saw in the last one? Sort of.
I think this will be fairly similar if you watch Week 1. It'll be NRG2 versus Weast, which was... or no, Dingle Bell. That's who I'm thinking. It was Derek and Bell. And Coleman and Zadop, I think, are kind of the same level as Derek and Bell, and I think Lethamyr and Memory have a fairly similar approach to how NRG2 play the game. They're both very mechanically adept players, so I think it'll be kind of similar.
I'm a little bit afraid here for them because Lethamyr is a phenomenal Wands player. He's taken Wands victories. He was one of the 12 Titans. And as we've seen last week, those Wands players are really...
create opportunities.
A threat to everybody across the field. So with Lethamyr on the pitch, I feel like this is going to suit him down to the ground. Plus, he's going to have that fire under his belly. He has had a miserable RLCS season. He wants to put that behind him. This is an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, we've got to remember, it is a huge opportunity for all of these players. It's, you're not playing for chump change here. It's $100,000 on the line. And the best thing about playing twos, when there's prize money on the line, I only got to split it with one other player. So that's the one good thing, isn't it?
That's the real one.
Everyone's
right
looking
there.
at threes and thinking, twos is the way forward. But, it is, again, a lot of money on the line for these guys. But first, of course, they've got to get through to the regionals. So that's going to be the first things for these guys to do. But, I mean... let's talk about Ghost a little bit more. And, you mentioned a slightly disappointing season for Lethamyr here. But, I mean, why was it so disappointing? I mean, what was it that happened? And, maybe some of the people didn't catch RLCS. And, what can you put your finger on exactly what went wrong?
He tried to play ones and threes, and it didn't work. However, playing ones and twos has that slight better chance
some more chances,
of working out. But it has always been one of Lethamyr's sort of weaker suits of his team play. But over here, gonna have to worry about that just a little bit less as he looks to try and move himself on in the next round of this tournament. Of course, Memory, not a player to scoff at. And after Space Station went out last week, gonna be looking to try and regain some stuff for his org.
I really think Memory is kind of a slightly underrated player. Another changeup, Shogun. Another slow one right in the net. Coleman can't quite get there. Pass over to Lethamyr, missed the challenge, just pops it right up.
I think it's about as powerful as that one was going to be completely honest.
Lethamyr also went to go hit Coleman. Not sure if it made a difference in how that played out, but either way, a lot of pressure early on. But like I was saying, I feel like Memory is kind of underrated for who he is, because in their first season of RLCS, remember when they were set to destroy, Memory had to play a ton of defense, and I don't think he's ever really got to showcase
the
how
entire
good.
team had to play a ton of defense.
But Memory especially, he got the Savior of the Year award. Had to make a ton of stops in front of the net. And I don't feel like he's ever really got a good chance to showcase how good he actually is at this game. So I think this is a pretty good chance for him to do that.
Certainly is. It's going to be a missed ball there from Lethamyr, but immediately covered. Memory trying to get that ball to be played as slow as possible, allow Lethamyr time to get back. Common shot. Just two miss hits to really trouble the defense. Now Memory going by himself. Still got 17 boost, chooses not to use it to try and go for a side-on tackle. Probably the best idea there. The ball could have ricocheted back over into the blue side of the field. Now Memory seems to be the workhorse so far in this game. He is all over the pitch. Lefmir biding his time. He's going to try and find his opportunity.
Goodbye.
Lefmir can keep this going. Both of them going right over the top.
One-on-one.
And now Iz has got that one-on-one. He's taken it away, but it's a very good challenge, and Coleman finds himself too far forward to really follow up properly. These flicks haven't been landed just yet. They've got to get that higher up if they really want to threaten. Lefmir can't quite win that challenge. Opportunity to set up down to the middle, but Memory is a step ahead and can follow up his own touch. Lefmir wants to go for the shot. Went for a lot there, but thankfully for him, 2 players on the side of first in. Going for the ball means that they cannot try and get the counter-attack, and eventually, wave after wave of offense leads to a goal.
Yeah, I think Coleman here kind of just trapped in a bad spot. Doesn't have a lot of boost to really work with. Not a good position to try and deal with these passes. It's a great setup for Memory off of the back wall. Coleman on an awkward rotation. He's just out of position to deal with that play, and it's capitalized on well by Lefmir and Memory.
Memory can go the entire way around. Using that ceiling to his advantage. Doesn't even actually go all the way up. Zadop going to give away possession to Lefmir. Didn't want any of it. Wanted instead to see what Lefmir was going to do with the ball. Good play out. Lefmir, though, holding that mid-line. His touch, though, not all that great. Opening up some space, but Coleman is so far back. First in have got to take the opportunities when they come, even how small they could potentially be. Memory versus the ball in a race. And Memory comes up second best.
And it's the importance of this opportunity. Zadop really not taking this one for granted. He knows he's got to get this ball down the pitch quickly, and if that ball is placed any further to the right, any further, that actually might get saved. So really well-placed ball, and more importantly, got it down the pitch fast.
This is what we saw in the last few games as well. But we're seeing one team hold that midfield incredibly well. This time around, it is Ghost Station. But there is risks in that. One time you get beat, cleanly to that ball, you have got nobody backing net. It is a huge risk-reward strategy. Back down. Zadok. Gonna see if Memory will miss touch. Memory, well, he certainly does not do that. Puts it so awkwardly for Coleman.
Oh,
and that is gonna be the power shot. Lefmir. If there's one thing he knows how to do, is spot any small opportunity he gets. And he just levers that one.
Yeah, and also Zadop really opening the net wide open. He was expecting Coleman to get that pass more forward or perhaps farther out to the side, and neither of those things happened. It was kind of just this weak tap. And that was quickly stolen away, and Zadop just found himself out of position.
Lefmir missed touches. This is one of the nice things right now for Ghost Station. First in are playing so far back that realistically any sort of mistouch from Ghost Station can be immediately rectified just by playing it back and resetting the position. Zadop does well there. Coleman actually challenges this time. It's been rare that he's gone for these, but he's done well out of that. And now it's First In's opportunity to try and squeeze a goal out from Ghost. But how long does it last? Not long enough. Lefmir finds a way past. Memory back over to the corner. He will go for the net. Zadok puts the ball straight into Coleman, who tries to follow up. 50 seconds remaining. 0 boost on the side of Coleman. And that touch does set it up for Memory. Memory finds the back of the net. Those 2v1s are such a nightmare to deal with.
Absolutely. It's just, Iz only has one option here. He needs to get this ball all the way across the pitch safely to that corner if he wants to not have to deal with a tough shot from Memory. And it's tough to do that when you don't have a lot of speed or a lot of momentum to get that ball all the way across. And
especially when you're facing towards your own net as well.
Yeah.
You don't exactly have much angle to work that ball into a corner. Memory with the flick up. He's going to follow himself. Almost got another tap to turn that one in.
You know, the interesting thing about this game is it's not like the mechanical brilliance of Lefmir and Memory is beating them. It's purely the speed.
It's mostly positioning from what I can tell, which, you know, speed and positioning is very much the same thing.
Connected, but yeah.
But it just seems like there's a confidence to Ghost Station where they expect most things to go their way. And then even when it doesn't, because First In are so far behind and so much slower,
Yeah.
Ghost Station can rectify any of those situations that go against them.
But it's mostly just the fact that they're not having to do anything crazy to beat these guys. It's just playing sound, fundamental Rocket League. It's like, I'm going to be in the right position, I'm going to beat you to the ball. And that's all they're doing.
Yeah, it's much like the previous match, slightly different to that in outlook. Obviously, that was more of a test. This one, Ghost seem to be just almost playing with their food a little bit at times. They just,
it feels a little bit that way, yeah.
yeah, just playing, just just doing pretty much what they want when they want.
I would definitely agree with you in terms of there is a very interesting comparison to be made by the team that is taking the front foot, where we have got them holding the midfield as well as they are. Difference is, though, is what the opposite side is doing. Last game, there was an awful lot of chasing down, trying to get to every single ball. This time around, it seems like Coleman and Zadop are very happy to stay on the back foot, and it's not working.
Yeah, Coleman 6 saves, 14 shots from Memory and Lethamyr. That's pressure and a half.
So how did you change that up? I know you guys were talking about speed. It's very easy to say, play quicker, but when you're playing against players like this, it's difficult to match their speed.
It is, but I feel like they're not really giving themselves the option.
Exactly.
It's one thing to say, okay, be quicker. We would never say that to a team of just be quicker. We will say to you, give yourself the chance to be quicker. Because right now they are playing in a very negative way. They're expecting a lot of the things to go against them, so even when it goes well for them, you've already prepared yourself for the worst. So
yeah, they're not in position to take advantage of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Especially when you're a couple of goals down. Why not just go for it at that point?
They could probably learn a little bit from the previous series and how Oxygen played. They did try and take
pretty grounded.
Exactly, they tried to take the fight a little bit, but unfortunately, didn't come out on top. But the game number 2 is about to start up now. I mean, Ghost have got to be feeling pretty confident going into this game number 2,
yeah.
right? I mean, that was, as we said, that was exactly how they would have expected game number 1 to go, and they executed pretty much everything they wanted to do in that game. So more of the same for them.
Absolutely. I think, just they'll get better mechanically as this series goes along, and if they keep getting that space with people like Lethamyr and Memory being allowed to execute on their mechanics, that's dangerous. We could see potentially a very high-scoring game on the side of the blue team unless we can see a step up here from First In.
It's Sharif playing with Coleman.
Oh, okay. Well, suddenly that the naming factors do not help us out here. Let's be honest here. We've got Zadop on our sheet. We've got Iz previously, and now Sharif reveals himself. It was him all along.
The best part, Sharif is actually also a 1v1 player. He's,
he was the 12th Titan.
He was the 12th Titan, exactly. So he also very much knows what he's doing. How did I miss that?
Well, I think
because it's not on the sheet. That's how I missed it.
Yeah, it's very easy to miss stuff when we are
simply
not given the information.
I think it was on the email I was sent, but not on the sheet. And now it all makes sense.
I'm trying to give you an out here, Chiefs.
I
trying to give you an out.
But I will hold myself accountable.
As Ghost just found a way out of defense incredibly quickly, Memory immediately able to take advantage.
Yep, Coleman just decides to make an aggressive chance at that ball and just beat to it. Also, doesn't help. Memory was on top of it, so even if he did make it, probably would have just went straight through him.
In fact, it is actually Sharif. It sort of throws me off even more because Sharif's gameplay style, especially in ones, is almost glued to the ball.
Yeah.
He is very close all the time. Just hasn't been able to settle down just yet.
Kind of an awkward clear there. Memory is just, he's not even expecting anything to happen there. He's just, oh, the ball's on my hood, and just quick cuts it inside, and they don't make it back. There's not much else to that one.
For Ghost, this is the perfect start, even better than the last one. All the way back down, Memory gets the pass off to Lethamyr, who can't connect to that ball.
Now, here's a question for you, Shogun.
Yes.
Since you spend so much time locked in a room in the U.S. when you're doing the RLCS, how many top NA players do you get to play against when you play?
How many? I barely get to play against any. Okay. Because I am stuck in a hotel room.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You probably don't have the best internet.
Hotel Wi-Fi, not great.
Never mind. You don't have the sweet wired connection?
No, I do not have the sweet wired connection, unfortunately. Those are 2 very dull months of my life. Memory. Pushing to the corner once again. Just constant clears happening right now from Ghost Station.
Ooh,
we almost saw ourselves a torment.
Man.
Memory will turn that one into the net, but First In just looking so uncomfortable with the ball.
Man, that is just watching Memory do that play, he saw that ball roll around the corner and he immediately went to the other side of the net. He's like, you've got one place to put this ball, and I'm going to be right there for it. That's a brilliant read of the play from Memory.
Now Coleman coming straight through. Might just be able to squeeze that one. Sharif so far just... Ball touches have always been very heavy from him.
Yeah, a little surprising.
Zero
Even
boost.
that one.
Tries to go for the backflip shot. At least keeps him in that midfield, where he can go and pick himself up some boost. Now back to the far corner. Coleman, plenty of time to try and work this one into a decent position. He decides to go long. Might be able to set up for Sharif, who's just going to try loitering around, but it is going to be Sharif versus Lefemere. Pass into the middle. Memory can just
brilliant.
smack it. 4-0. All down to the great transitional gameplay from Lefemere.
Yeah, really nice dribble from left. It's that quick land on the ground and the sharp cut out to the right side that really opens that play up. Sharif not in a bad position, just a little bit too close. Shogun, it's a little warm in here, baby.
Definitely a little bit warm. That goal did definitely not help matters. Sharif misses out on the ball. We go straight across the net once again, but Lefemere moves himself a little bit too early. Back across again, Sharif. Ball back with him. 6 boosts to his name. Left himself with very few options to how to take the ball. Now Lefemere, he's got quite a bit. Ball just escaped, but there's another shot there coming in from Lefemere. Of Memory this time around. There's going to be another one.
Pressure.
How many shots did you say last game? 14?
Yeah, they had 14 shots last game. How many
Could
they
very
got?
well be much higher this time around.
They've got 8 right now. They
8
got
right
2
now.
minutes to go.
Okay, so what we're saying is shot accuracy is way up
Way up, yeah.
for Ghost Station.
It's been a pretty clean game number 2. It's kind of just like what Onset said would happen, the Word versus Oxygen. Game 2 blowout potential, and it's definitely came to the forefront here, that's for sure.